Hey guys, so I want to just do a quick little video here. I do have my brand new Galaxy S4 active, and I'm gonna compare it here a little bit with Android 4.2.2 versus Apple's iPhone 5 here. My white iPhone having the latest iOS 7 beta 2, which has a bunch of new features that I've been going over in other videos. So to start off here, if you're new to this video, this is a new Galaxy S4 smartphone called the Galaxy S4 Active. What is different with this one compared to Galaxy S4, you might ask? Well, the first thing is that the camera is only coming with an 8 megapixel, or it's an 8 megapixel camera. Let's see here, it's a little bit dirty. So what? Okay, that was a funny glitch. I haven't even opened up the game. Let's see if I can clean off the lens here as well. So of course it could be a little bit dirty sometimes. I'm not sure why though. So you can see it now when it's cleaned off. It is an 8 megapixel camera only compared to the Galaxy S4's 30 megapixel camera, but it has a cool new aqua mode appropriate for taking underwater pictures that I will be taking a look at, because that's the other thing about this phone, that it is water and dust proof or dust resistant. So it will be able to take that stuff, which is extremely cool. Also, one thing that's different with this device compared to the S4, of course, is that this boy has a TFT display on top. But not now. We will be comparing these two smartphones. So speaking here about iOS 7, of course, iOS 7, the latest beta here with voice memo. So of course, iOS 7 has a total new interface. Voice memo is back in the second beta, where you can record sound, and it's just like in iOS 6, I'm pretty sure, even though I've never used it in iOS 6. Recording paused. Yeah, I know. Done. Okay, hit done. There we go. We can play it. And of course we can share it, we can delete it, we can do all those things. iOS 7 overall has a brand new interface, of course. Some also new updates in beta 2, new icon in there. Overall speed improvements when we go to the search widget, and should also be a little bit more transparent here, that you probably can see. We also have some other things, of course, like keyboard and folders should have better transparency here in the background. And of course we don't have this problem with Android, because Android has a freedom where you can have any keyboard and customize the interface however you like. Photo stream should also upload screenshots, I'm pretty sure. iCloud is back with Find My iPhone, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't available in the first update. So when you go down here, cool Find My iPhone feature in iCloud. So iCloud, of course, can back up all of your data, which is pretty useful and awesome. But Find My iPhone, probably the best feature if you lose your iPhone if you are drunk. And then of course there's also a bunch of other revamped reminders app, new button in weather, new clock icon, and also group. When you talk, I said like group talk, you can now see avatars. Not like the movie Avatar though, but it's pretty cool. So if you take a look at these phones, of course, they are a little bit different here in terms both, of course, updated to the latest operating system. Both are high-end smartphones. The thing here with Active, of course, is that we can have widgets just as on the S4. It's basically the same kind of widgets that we can have. Samsung's own widget here. You have a cool widget here, like an S-Memo widget, even though you don't get, of course, an S Pen with this device. You can also see that it's a little bit more protected here on the front side, because, of course, this will be a phone that you can be a little bit nasty with. But it has Gorilla Glass 2 versus S4 that has Gorilla Glass 3, which I find pretty weird why they didn't put on better protection there, because this should be a little bit more of a proof, secure phone. What's also pretty cool about this phone is that it has opening here for the headphone jack, but it's still waterproof from my understanding. And also, of course, you can take off the back also, and and insert another battery, or you probably shouldn't do that, but you can replace the battery and also insert an SD card on the back. And I like this kind of rubber feel compared to the S4. I think it looks a little bit more badass. It's also a little bit thicker, of course. So the first thing here, of course, is that you can have widgets here on the Galaxy S4 Active. I think it makes the phone feel pretty cool, that you can customize the interface more. It's a little bit more cool. There could be widgets with things going on the screen, which is pretty nice, where Apple still just widgets. And even though Apple have made some pretty cool updates here with the control center in iOS 7, so you finally get some toggles up here, and you get a brightness slider over here, music player, some quick access to some apps, and it kind of works the same as with Android, of course. When you swipe down like this, you don't get all of the Galaxy S4 features in the Galaxy S4 Active, like AirPause and AirView and all those things, scroll with your hand and stuff. You don't get that in S4 Active, but you get a few options here at least. But I would love to see more in upcoming updates like Android 4.3 or something. So that could be worth mentioning. And also you can see here when you go down on the iPhone, they have focus here on the calendar, and when you go from the bottom, you do get this little control center. Here they focus on the calendar and also an all section with everything that's going on and stuff that you have missed. A very cool background here that you can see through, where here it's a little over here it's a little bit more boring. And also if we go into the settings area, it looks a little bit boring here compared to Apple's. For some reason, look at these buttons. I find the UI look a little bit outdated here, but definitely, like when you're on home screens, they look updated and everything, cool apps and cool widgets. But when we compare it to Apple's a little bit more clean interface, I would say that definitely that Samsung could work a little bit more on that, just making those menus look a little bit more cool. Maybe have a transparent background that Apple, same as Apple have made with their phone. If you take a look here also at the lock screen, you can see that here we can have lock screen widgets on the Galaxy S4 Active, so you can quickly launch the camera or other things. You can also have like 4 or 5 apps that you can quickly go to. But if you do have the iPhone 5, you do have quick access to the camera, which is good, but you don't get any more options over there than they used to have. Yeah, you can also access the control center, I think it's been called that, down here on the lock screen. You can also disable that if you don't want that, and then you just quickly unlock the device like this. Of course, I would love to go over all of the apps in one single video here, but this is a quick, more of a UI look video. If you want a more like comparison in terms of browser, Samsung has their own browser over here, the internet browser, and then Safari, of course, or Apple has their own Safari browser. Definitely I can take a look at that and make more in-depth videos about that, but definitely probably one of the biggest feature or difference here is that widgets. I would love to see that on an iPhone. So also if we hold in here, check out the multitasking area. It's kind of the same here on both. Apple made some very nice updates compared to earlier version of iOS, that instead of just having those small little apps down here to close, that it was in iOS 6, they made a little bit more focus here in the middle, and you can swipe to remove apps, and you can also do a quick preview of the app, which is pretty nice, not just the logo. So it's the same as Android has been having now for some time. One cool thing here definitely with Android is that first I get a shortcut here to seeing some other stuff like downloaded apps, RAM, and clear default, which looks a little bit different, I'm pretty sure, compared to other phones. Also, what I did notice with the Galaxy S4 Active is that it seems to have a lot more storage than the Galaxy S4, which is pretty nice, just coming from the stock over there. Also, another cool feature here in the multitasking area is that with one tap here, you can close all of the current open up apps, which is extremely nice to have a feature like that. Definitely a useful little feature. and of course both here are 8 megapixel cameras, and I might be taking a look at that in another video if you are interested in that, and also benchmarking browser and gaming, you know, just comparing it against Apple's latest iOS. You do have, of course, live wallpapers on both, and the funny thing is that it seems like Apple is like almost copying Android or something here. It's pretty funny. I don't care that much, but if we go back, just go back here. And go to set wallpaper. Let's go to home screen. When we go to live wallpapers on both devices, we do get on both like 2, Apple call them dynamic wallpapers, but it's like basically the same as Android's live wallpapers. Both have kind of 2 bubble wallpapers, live wallpapers, which I find pretty funny that both have 2, and both are like bubbles moving around. I don't really get that thing. I think that the Galaxy Nexus from last year was the first one with that, but I can't tell if it would show. And of course, it's very, very easy to customize your Android device more here with more live wallpapers, backgrounds and everything. Just very, very easy from the Play Store to just pick that up if you would like. And of course, you also have your normal static wallpapers that may not be that interesting. Let's go home screen. So Apple call them stills. There we go. You can see we do have some new wallpapers here in the iOS 7 beta 2. Just a few new up there at the top. In the S4 Active compared to the Galaxy S4, we do have this blue one over here, and also I think this one is new. This one could also be new. This one I think I've seen before, and that one I also seen before in Samsung's update. Of course, also you do get voice assistant. Apple has some of their own apps. So tell me if you want to see a specific app. Of course, with Android we do have first Google Now. So what is 2 plus 2?
The answer is 4.
So you can use either Google Now or Samsung's own assistant called S Voice, which is pretty cool, but it's not as good as Siri from my experience, especially not in terms of speed. What is 2 plus 2?
Checking. The answer is 4.
Oh, that's so awesome. So Siri is really, really quick here. You can see also very, very nice transparency here. They're using Wolfram Alpha to get data. If you do use Samsung's own S Voice, you can kind of do the same thing, set the alarm, ask time. You can basically ask them anything. What is 2 plus 2? So a little bit slowish here, and it's also using Wolfram Alpha here, but you have to click on a button called More, and then you get it a little bit too big here. But you get the information, and you can definitely experiment with it a lot more. But overall, I would say Siri looks a little bit more clean in terms of its UI. Also, it seems to be responding quicker. But definitely on Android, you should probably just use Google Now. Extremely good speeds and stuff. Quickly a video here. And as I said, please tell me if you want to see any specific thing in a video comparing these 2 devices, the browser, music, gaming, or anything. Let me know. GPS, who knows what you want to see. But this is a quick little UI look here. Hopefully you enjoy. Yeah, peace.